Life isn't happening to you, it is happening through you. Life isn't happening to you, it is happening through you. Life is not happening to me, it is happening through me. It seems like no matter how many times I take that message to heart, I always need a reminder. I always need a recalibration. I always need a reintegration of that information. I've spent a lot of my life dying. Not to sound morbid, but I feel like in a lot of ways, when people talk about like ego death or being reborn, in order to be reborn, one must die. And I have experienced many different versions of me die. A version of me that sought fame, a version of me that sought universal acceptance, a version of me that sought an easy, simple path, and emerging from each one of those seasons, I had to reintegrate. I had to take what I learned and inch one step closer in refinement to who I'm supposed to be. This is here if you need it, by the way. Maybe one of you out there have experienced this, but there always seems to be these oscillating seasons between I don't know what the hell I'm doing to okay, I kind of got my feet underneath me, to am I tapping into the secrets of the universe right now? Because I feel like in control. And then that turns into kind of integrating in your day-to-day, and it becomes normal again, and the cycle repeats. Like waves crashing and pulling back from the ocean. I think I'm in a cycle right now of the tide returning back in for the next big wave. And when I'm in those phases, it is uncomfortable, but it's also just kind of numbing at this point because I can recognize it. I think a lot of people, especially in this self-help, actualization, meditation space, they focus a lot on the peace and the prosperity behind it, which is the result, but I think there's an underrepresentation of the murkiness and the confusion. And in a lot of ways, I feel like people demonize it or don't want to talk about it because it's not pretty and it's not cool and it's not going to get people feeling uplifted. But I do feel like that is something that is truly missing in integrating this into ourselves, is understanding the refinement periods, understanding the moments of doubt and confusion are the new seeds here to blossom. And as I said in the beginning, it's happening through me, not to me. And so through me, I have to grow new lessons. I have to grow new sentiments, new ideas of who I am. And in a different version of me, I wouldn't see the tangible fruits of it, and that would discourage me, or that would make me feel like I was doing something wrong, only to now realize that that is equally as important as the fruiting stages of what we create. Well, we got a plane. It's important to understand that And it's important to understand that the refinements create the alignments. Okay, rhyme, but that is the truth. This is the loading screen. And in order to accept that, you have to accept that there isn't some outward thing that's going to come and touch you and make it happen and make it feel so. It is an internal molting process. It's an internal process that requires patience. It's not happening to me, it is happening through me. Today, I feel called to communicate that because it is not about the grand, sweeping, beautiful moments that really shift who we are. It is the mundane, the boring, the slow and the sluggish. Being able to root yourself within that in humility and gratitude is what opens up the portal and the vessel that you are to allow the next phase to come through you. I mean, I could rewatch these old videos. I could look in my eyes and see the moments when I'm like, wow, like, yeah, he's humming. He's got it going, you know? And at the same time, understand that me dipping back into a place of, like I said, this sluggishness or this fog or this haze isn't because that version of me did anything wrong. It's because he completed the cycle and now it's time for the next one. And so for anybody seeing this, anybody who has ever experienced these situations and attribute self-doubt or worry or panic or fear to that, maybe just take a second and realize the natural rhythm of your life, the seat of self and the stepping back and going, nah, that is the turning of the wheel. That is just the process that exists. Recognizing the gift opens the portal. And I recognize my gifts. I recognize my abilities. I recognize who I am and what I am called to do. And that is something we all have. That is something we all inherently possess. So going through into today, into a brand new day, acknowledge that, sit within that. Realize that you have died many a time. And if you're doing it right, you will continue to die and continue to be reborn. Excitement and enthusiasm are valuable and the lifeblood of everything. But with the universal law of equal and opposites, that enthusiasm is made possible by that mundane. And understanding, hey, as sure as I'm here, I will be here again. And trusting that and having faith in that. That's what it's all about. So, as always, this is here if you need it.